everybody and welcome back to Tenza Motorsports. Big project again today. We have with us our E46. This is the black one you see on the channel. This is the wife's race car, and it's got a bit of a weird setup, and we'll go over what the exhaust is on it right now. And then obviously we are doing a Flashark header install. The header install for the E90 went really well, and we were very happy with it. And so when they reached out to us again, said, hey, we've got some that should fit your E46, and I've already verified that they do. We said, yeah, let's do it. So before we get into what's on the car and some of the other specifics on this header install, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Like if you enjoy this type of content. Also make sure to check us out on Instagram, Tenza_motorsports. The exhaust that's on this car right now. So the funny thing about this was that somebody had modified an S54 header to fit on this car. And then a few years ago, we pulled the cats out of it, just cut a few access holes, and we're able to bust the honeycomb, all of the catalytic converter material out of the exhaust. So it's essentially an S54 manifold on an M54 engine, but even with it being the S54, which does have a little bit higher flow rate than the M54 manifold. I don't know if you've seen the M54 manifolds. They are not the most performance looking exhaust manifolds. It's still not flowing as good, in my opinion, as a set of actual like catless headers designed to not have cats in them. So what we're going to be doing today is removing the exhaust manifold off the car and then putting these ones on. Now, these ones here on the website said they're for the M52. They do not actually have an M54 specific manifold yet, but these do fit. The things that don't fit on these is this length here. And then what they do is they just give you some extra piping here. I'll show you what that looks like. And what we'll be able to do here is get the exhaust manifold on here, and then we'll be able to turn and weld and modify as needed. So this is not a direct bolt on option. This is a little bit more work than a unbolt this and bolt it back on. It's not the exact same amount of work, but honestly, if you're doing this kind of mods to your car, you're gonna need to at some point do some custom modification. The other thing I want to mention on this car is that there are some things that are missing on it. So like my secondary air pump and a few other things on the exhaust side are actually no longer there, which makes mine a little bit easier, but there will probably be things that you need to remove. Your windshield cowl, so that would be like your cabin air filter, the area where like your windshield wipers. Sometimes you need to start removing some of that just to get a little bit more extra space. Your secondary air pump, your windshield washer, the sprayer nozzle, the tank for your windshield washer fluid, oftentimes that'll have to come out. All right, so here is the exhaust system unboxed. I do want to go over a few things. So in the last video, we talked about some manifold gaskets. These manifold gaskets here would probably work for this. I don't see anything wrong with these particular ones, but we bought some different ones anyways. We'll go over that in just a moment. These are the gaskets that go in between the headers and the rest of the exhaust here. And so those will fit on there like this, and then they're crush style. So this is what these exhaust gaskets look like. And right off the bat, you can see why I decided to do these style. This has a built-in heat shield, and I want this back on the car. So it's just a good idea. These are not that expensive. I think these were 60 bucks. So that is absolutely worth it. Again, these would work. I don't see any issues with these. I want this heat shield. The other thing that I purchased was this piece of exhaust piping here. The reason is if this, I'm not sure what's underneath the car right now because it's been so mixed matched and Frankensteined underneath there to get where it's at right now. I'm not sure what piping is underneath there, so I didn't want to find out that it like was a butt match. You can weld a butt match, but preferably you'd have something like this, a sleeve. So I bought this piece here. If I need to use it, I'll cut it in half, and then I can use half of it on this side and half of it on the other side to make that work. All right, so you can see what's going on here. S54 headers on that M54 manifold. You can see all the welds on it. Somebody did it. I'm not sure what the thinking behind it was, other than just more flow, I guess. But I did pull the cats out of this, so you can still see that there were cats in here, and remove those. And so now it's a higher flowing system, but I feel like the Flashark system will definitely have a lot better flow. So let's go ahead and get this taken off. I'll be able to do a lot of this from below, and so I'll just do this all on time lapse, and if there's something weird that shows up, I'll make sure to pause and pull out the camera and show everybody what's going on. So I'm gonna just throw on my GoPro and we'll get these headers out of here. All right, so I got two good things and one bad thing. Two good things is the old ones are out and the new ones are roughly in. I don't know how much you can see back in here. You can see bank 1 and bank 2. And I'll go over here and I'll grab these pieces. So here is the pipe that comes off of bank 2. And if you look at this one, it fits parallel to the one that's on there. And I'll put this right here onto bank 1. And it sits parallel to this other pipe, which is good because that means that when you push this up, they'll line up. The one downside is that even though I don't have post-cat sensors because of the tune that RevMatch did, I do need these bungs here because these are my AFR. And so what I'm going to be doing is cutting off the bungs from here and stealing those. I do have some new ones at home, but I don't have time to run back to the house to grab them, so those will do for right now. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do them into here or into this. I'll decide that at some point, but yeah, basically what I'll do is I'll cut them off and then I'll reinstall them onto the piping somewhere. All right, everything is in. Just want to walk through this real quick. So there are the headers. This is the front of the engine, moving towards the back of the engine. There they are as they come down into the old exhaust. Welded up really nice. I'll show the bungs that I had to add. So this bung here and this one here I had to pull from the old headers. Looks like that crushed gasket smushed up real nice. I believe the bolts are supposed to go through. So this side here is threaded. The actual header side is threaded. And so I ran the bolts this way. But on this one here, you can actually see the bolt shorter. I tried to put the bolt, but it was touching the exhaust. And so I cut the bolt down because you can see it gets kind of narrower here. And by the time I cut the bolt down enough that I would be able to put it through from the other direction, it would have been pretty small. So I just decided to go the other direction. So yeah, kind of a shame, but everything looks like it's back together. These are all welded up 360. So now it is time to hear the car. So yeah, just enjoy the next couple minutes, some B-roll and some car audio, some polls, launches, things like that. I appreciate everybody so much for watching. Comments or questions down in the comment section below. Discount code here. And as always, I'll have everything we use down in the description below. Bam!